Good morning, everyone. It's a bit of a chillier day here in Michigan, and I'm a little behind on my videos. It's been a couple weeks. I have been shooting that Barnett Demon AccuStrike Pro. That thing's pretty cool. I've got a few things. Again, the red dot sight is honestly my one. I don't love it. Red or green, you get to choose. I'm just not a red dot fan. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about a bow that came out recently. I'm sure you've seen it. It's a pretty big deal. The Excalibur Hybrid X. Now, obviously, I don't have it on hand. I wish I did. But we can look at these pictures. We can kind of talk about the things that, I don't know if disappointed is the word, because it looks like a sweet crossbow. I think it's a really big step for them. And I think that it stays connected enough to their roots that it's not going to push away their fans. I think that's important. But there's just a few things that I don't think that I would like. There's also a lot to like. So let's dig into it. Okay, so let's just start right off the bat here, right? It has cams. Man, those cams come close to the limb. If you look at these pictures, they come close to the limbs. I don't think that's bad, right? As long as they're not touching in any way, which they aren't. And man, does it shoot fast, right? So you're up over that 400 feet per second, which that seems pretty standard now, right? So that's a massive plus. You get that speed. You get cams. But with this bow, what you get is the ability to work on it in the field, right? I watched their live video when they released it, and they were really mentioning that, hey, you can still change your strings. You can still work on this yourself without a press. And I thought, that's awesome. Because that's what Excalibur fans want, right? To be able to work on it themselves. That seems to be the big thing. I can work on this right at home. I need to change my strings. All you Excalibur fans always post on my videos, hey, Excalibur, you can work on it yourself. And that's really cool. I think that's a plus if you're an Excalibur fan. So I think that is one of the positives, right? You can work on this yourself. Another positive, you got that speed, right? You got the speed. You've got your crank cocker, which stores very nicely, hidden away. I like that. These are all pluses, right? So is there anything kind of negative about this bow? I think there's a couple, but they might be personal preferences. One, I do not like when the stock has a bar that kind of encloses it in, like where you have to put your hand through. So I'll put a picture up here and you guys can see what I'm talking about. When you have that, especially like up here in Michigan, right? When you hunt in the winter and you have gloves, that is a pain in the butt. You bump it, you're making noise. I just don't like it. I get that it adds maybe rigidity, stability to your bow, but I'm not a huge fan of that. I mentioned this in my first Demon video. Just the AccuStrike has that and the AccuStrike Pro doesn't. I love that the AccuStrike Pro doesn't. I know I'm not hunting with that one, but I don't want to have to worry about bumping that when I'm hunting. I just don't. So that's a drawback for me. Another drawback, crank cocking. Now I know crank cockers are great now, and you can decock, so that's a plus. But I want to be able to rope cock my bows. I do. That's just where I'm at in life. That's a drawback for me. Might not be a drawback for you if you want to be able to work on your own boat and you don't mind a crank cocker. Don't see a downside here, right? But for me, give me a rope cocker in there. Let me do that. if I want to. Definitely can't complain about how narrow this thing is, right? Love how narrow it is. Super narrow. And it's also kind of short, which could be a plus or a minus. You get the stability, but then your arrow's sticking out, like you can see in this picture. Don't love my arrow sticking out like that, but they do give you the little hook at the end so you can hang it up. So that's one of my big things. I like that you can hang up your bow. But got a short bow, no broadhead protection. Could be a downside. Something to think about. But overall, guys, what a sweet bow, right? You have reverse limb, so better balance. You have crank cocking ability. For those of you who really like that, you have that ability. You got speed. You have narrowness. You have weight. Not very heavy, right? Just about average in the weight department. You're just looking at a really nice bow. It's honestly on my list to maybe try to get someday. But there's one big drawback for me. One huge drawback, and it's the drawback with a lot of these crossbows now. The price. And let's be honest. $2,200. That's a lot of money. And they say, hey, you can work on it yourself. That's true. You can also get a cheaper crossbow, buy a crossbow press, and work on all your crossbows by yourself. Ah, well, you can decock it. Well, if that's important to you, that's true. Decocking is nice. If you're more of a hunter like me, you just keep a target by your house because you hunt on your own land, and you just bring a field tip with you, right? So it's not worth that extra cost necessarily for some of us. I'm not saying for all, but for some of us, you know, the decocking, yeah, it would be nice. You could say it saves wear and tear on your string, but most of us are probably going to change our string every few years anyways, right? Whether we're shooting it into a target or not. So that price tag is just really big, right? And I know Excalibur is known for quality, well-built, easy to work on bows. And this is supposed to continue in that lineup. And I know their bows are expensive. But man, that's a lot of money. A lot of money. And then you're probably going to change the scope, a lot of people, right? I think I saw a video of Death by Bungie. I think he already put his Burris Oracle X on there, right? So you're paying that much, and then you're probably gonna change the scope. A lot of people. For me, no, I'm not gonna change the scope. I usually go with whatever the stock scope is for cost, right? As a budget hunter, if you're only shooting 20 to 30 yards, most scopes that come on these things are good. So you're paying a lot of money. You don't even get an adjustable stock. You know, you get that, it's connected. It's not adjustable. I don't know. I feel like it's a good bow. Obviously, I don't have my hands on it. I feel like it's a really cool bow. I think it's cool that you can work on it yourself. I like that. But man, we gotta get away from this $2,000 price range for these things. We just do. Hunting's expensive enough. And this bow looks awesome. It does. I would love to have this bow. But I guess without shooting it, for sure, the price tag on this thing is just so much. I mean, 10 Point, Excalibur, even Barnett is creeping their prices up there. Like, oh, you can decock it now. Well, that's great. I can see, I could maybe even see, this is hard for me to say, 1,500-ish. But you're $700 above that. You can only use their nocks, right? I think crossbows are getting insane on their pricing. I think the industry needs to take a look at it and bring it back down. What is going to happen is you're going to price out your cheap crossbow hunters. A few years ago when I got my Hyper Raptor, right, I was willing to go up into the $600 range, and that was tough for me. It was. It's going to be tough for a lot of you guys, right? We try to talk budget-friendly crossbows most of the time on here. This Excalibur is not a budget-friendly crossbow. Is it a sweet crossbow? Yes. Is it budget-friendly? No. Hopefully in the future, it'll come down a little bit. I love the reverse draw. I love that you can work on it yourself. I know I've said that a lot, but that is cool. I'd like to see a more universal arrow system, maybe like a half moon knock or something like that. Or if you can't do that, something a little more universal. I know with the speed and how narrow it is, a lot of times, you know, we struggle with that. Even Barnett has their own knocks, right? On some stuff. So I feel like maybe that's just a way for crossbow companies to be like, hey, you got to buy our arrows. I'd like to see the whole industry get together. Let's try to make a standardized knock. But I'm going off on a tangent. This is about the Excalibur. I think it's a great bow. I do. It looks sweet. It shoots fast. It is a huge step for Excalibur, right? I mean, just huge for them. But it still ties into their loyal fan base. Lets you work on it. Still has the limbs, right? The recurve limbs. So they've connected the two really well. They're really hoping that by doing that, by merging those two things together, that they can get you with the price, I think. And they probably will. If you're a big Excalibur fan, I could see you just wanting it because it's new, it's cool, but man, it's pricey. Thanks for coming, guys, checking this out. I haven't researched a ton into Excalibur in the past. I have been very intrigued by them. I know Death by Bungie, he loves them, right? I think he and his daughter both use them. I believe he has this new one, so go ahead and check out his videos over there. I think he's doing like a 2 or 3 part video series on it, if you want to see someone shooting it. And he never minces words either, so feel free to check out his video if you want a more in-depth look at it, I think. But he and I do have differing opinions on things, obviously. We're different people, right? Everyone likes different things, and that's what's great about the crossbow world. I think there's something out there for everyone. I think I would really like this bow if it was, I don't know, $1,000 cheaper or so. Then maybe I'd consider it. We'll catch you on the next one, guys.